I remember thinking when I was a kid, what would happen if all of a sudden people could read our uncensored minds? Think about that. Marriages, friendships, business, and government would not survive. Yet there are keyboard bullies on social media and judgmental finger pointers in real life who want to police every single word and thought they do not agree with. There are so many words and phrases that are off limits, it's hard to keep track. For example, some say peanut gallery is now classist and racist. First world problem is also classist. Tone deaf is ableist. Mom and dad assumes traditional gender roles. Seriously? Students on college campuses are also dealing with the self-censorship issue, which leads us to this question. Are we setting up the younger generation for failure? My next guest is a student who says he has learned firsthand about the risk of sharing his opinion. Now, he believes he was censored by college administrators over anti-leftist and anti-abortion flyers his chapter of Young Americans for Freedom posted.
We're here, to promote traditional American values, free speech.
The message we were trying to post was, this is how many people have died under their communist regimes. The school apparently found that offensive and later took them down without notice.
To my knowledge, no other student groups have had their posters taken down or run into any problems concerning that. We have the right to First Amendment free speech just like anyone else, and we want to be able to have healthy discussions with people on campus, and if it's happening here, it's happening somewhere else.
Now, by the way, they got permission to post this from the administration before they did. They just didn't go around tacking up stuff that hadn't been approved. Correct, Alejandro? This was approved by the administration.
So the original flyers that we had up, which we were taking part in the campus-wide initiative project by the Young Americans Foundation for Freedom Week, in which we were celebrating the fall of the Berlin Wall. And we find it crucial that, so many of us just don't understand how important this day in history was when the East was free from communism, from oppression. And we wanted to bring this initiative to campus and show the students, on this day, the Berlin Wall fell. On this day, millions of people were liberated and no longer had to suffer under communist tyranny. So yeah, we had approval, we put them up, and later through emails obtained by the Young Americans Foundation through a FOIA, we found out that the staff got complaints by students, they found it offensive, and the faculty conspired together in order to suppress our speech and to move somewhere else. Okay, so
you had them prominently on campus, and they had you move them to a fringe area on a kiosk where maybe a dog or cat walking by could see them.
Yeah,
but they put you out on the edge.
Yeah, they put us out in the middle of nowhere. So right now, students can only enter the college through one door. And the free speech kiosk is located in this middle of nowhere by the grass. The only thing we have out there, the only warm bodies that are out there are the school geese. And we say we have the most conservative geese because when we tack up on the free speech kiosk, they always get to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no students walk there. They told us go take it to the free speech zone or free speech kiosk, which is just this rotting board that's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and you admit that some complained that the flyers were triggering to them, that bothered them. And is there some validity to that?
So yeah, we have, through the FOIA emails, you can see that faculty members came up to certain administrators and say, hey, we have complaints from students saying that these posters are triggering, that these posters are offensive, and they were wondering if the school could take them down or if they were even approved in the first place, which they were. And I think it's kind of sad. If a student disagreed with what we were putting up, I wouldn't want them to complain against it. I would want them to, if they think we're wrong about our statistics, about our numbers, post something. Post your own facts, post your own statistics, have a dialogue with us, come to one of our meetings and engage and say, hey, you know what, I disagree with what you're saying, here's why. We would love to have that.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.